Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to an extra Jon Gaunt podcast. Starmer, get back on the plane and come home. Stop collecting air miles. You should be sacking the clown, David Lammy, now, today. And in this podcast, I'm going to show you why. Obviously, I want your views as well. So if you wish to comment, please get involved now. Lammy is a clown, but he's now proving to be a dangerous clown. Starmer, stop collecting air miles. Sack David Lammy. He couldn't even wear a poppy when he was telling us how important that was. And yesterday he lied. I'm going to say what the others are afraid to say. He's a liar. And Jenrick is right when he said this morning on GMTV, he's a bullshitter. He's got to go. Do you agree with me? So good afternoon, it's Jon Gaunt Live. It is 1:30 or just after. What a day to be alive. Whilst Keir Starmer has gone to Brazil with Prince William to hug a tree or do something else for the environment, I'm not sure what it's about, apart from clearing miles and miles of the rainforest so they can all land their private jets. It's hypocrisy off the scale. There's no need for him to be there. And I said last week he should have sent Lammy. He's the Deputy Prime Minister, isn't he? But send him. And if he had, we wouldn't have had the tragi-comedy for our great country yesterday. Because chaos is reigning in the United Kingdom. David Lammy yesterday got asked the same question 5 times. And every time he dodged the answer. We now know why. Because, of course, he knew that they'd released another dangerous, foreign, Algerian this time, sex offender onto the streets. They say accidentally. I'm beginning to think this is all about triggering us. And then later they got a bit of luck because another guy got released. He was a fraudster. And this morning he's handed himself in. And if you watch the BBC now, which is like Pravda for the government, you'll see they're sort of almost saying, isn't that great? They've caught one of them. They didn't catch anybody. He handed himself in, and he wasn't the dangerous one. The dangerous one is the sex offender. The dangerous one is the Algerian. The dangerous one is the one who was meant to be getting deported. Okay, he's not a flip-flop warrior. He didn't get out of a dinghy, but he also shouldn't be in our country. What is going on? And Lammy's still in charge. As soon as he got off the plane, Keir Starmer, instead of putting on his dinner suit, his monkey suit to go to that posh do, he should have sacked Lammy. But the point is he can't sack Lammy because there's no one to replace him. He wants to sack the Chancellor or Rachel Reeves, but he can't. Why? Because there's no one to replace her. So she can carry on messing up the economy. Lammy can keep on letting out dangerous sex offenders. And when I say him, the book stops with him because he's got 2 jobs. Well, that's a joke. One's Deputy Prime Minister, and the second, he's meant to be in charge of the prisons. I would humbly suggest he's failing at both, and therefore he should go. Are you with me or against me? This is what we're talking about this afternoon. I will be doing another show later on, and if you want to know where I was yesterday, I'll tell you later in the program. It's another shocking story about broken Britain. If you want to join in, put your comments up now. So, Lammy refuses to answer the question. I was watching it live. I thought he's up to something here. I thought the Conservative guy, keep at him. The reason why he wouldn't say anything at all was because he knew that another dangerous foreign Algerian sex offender had been released accidentally again. The Conservative was bang on the money. Later in the day, Lammy had to admit that he knew. So Lammy surely effectively lied. if we can't believe the guy who's in charge of Britain at the moment, which he is because Starmer's away, that's right, Lammy the clown is in charge, then who can we trust? He's a liar. He's a bullshitter. He's an incompetent. He's asleep at the job again, as I've shown you in my pictures today. The man is a clown. And if Starmer had any backbone, he'd sack him. And if Starmer had anything about him, he would have come straight back. But no, every time the proverbial hits the fan, where's Starmer? Where's Wally? He's hiding abroad. And as I say, to add insult to injury yesterday, Lammy didn't have a poppy on. He didn't have a poppy on, but he gave a lecture in how important it was. And at the beginning of his nonsense at Prime Minister's questions yesterday, he talked about the honour of being the first black man to take questions at the dispatch box. Well, good on you. What a pity that you're not any good, because it's not really any point in bragging about being the first black man if you then perform like that and if you lie. And he lies. He's a bullshitter. He was briefed the night before. He knew this bloke had escaped. Why on earth he didn't start Prime Minister's questions by saying, I must report to the House, dreadfully sorry, we've let out another nonce, or words to that effect. Why didn't he do that? Then he would have cut them off at the pass. So then when the Tory got up and started having a go at him, he wouldn't have any oxygen to actually attack him with. But no, Lammy lied. And you know what it is? It's what your mum said. You tell one lie, you have to tell another. And then before you know it, the trouble gets worse. Lammy must go. He's not fit for high office. I don't care that Starmer hasn't got a replacement. I care about this country, not about the Labour Party or the Tory Party or even a Reform. We are the laughing stock of the world. How many more are they going to release? The other thing, of course, is how do we know they haven't already released some others accidentally? Because Wandsworth didn't know for a week that this guy, dangerous sex offender, convicted Algerian, shouldn't be in the country, was missing. What's happening with our prison service? We've clearly got a major crisis. And I know some of that is the Tories' fault because they didn't build enough prisons. But you can't keep on blaming them. They've been in power 18 months. You've now got to take responsibility. But they never do. And this is summed up by our glorious supreme leader, who, as I say, every time the shit hits the fan, he's not here, is he? He runs away. He'll never be a leader whilst I've got a hole in my underpants. Do you agree? I think this brings into question the whole government, the whole of the lousy Labour government. They say, don't worry, the adults are back in charge. My arse, are they? It's been a clown show. It's been a disaster from day one. And it's not just about have they released any more. Let me ask you another question. How many of the people coming in the dinghies, the flip-flop warriors, are sexual offenders or potential? I'm not in any way, shape or form suggesting they all are, but it's clear from the evidence that there's a sizable number who are committing sexual crimes, who don't understand the rules, the laws, the kind of society norms that we live in. And what does Starmer do? He keeps letting them in. And then he was going to put them in an army camp. But now he can't because there's asbestos. I'm dreadfully sorry. But if it was good enough for our troops, it's good enough for the flip-flop warrior. Isn't it? This country is a complete joke. We care more for those who haven't paid in than those who have been here forever. Now I'll let you into a little story. Yesterday, my mother-in-law had to be taken to hospital in an ambulance. She was all there all day in a corridor, getting some forms of treatment, x-rays, etc., until 12 midnight, when they decided they didn't have a bed, so they couldn't admit her, and she came home. I'm not blaming foreigners. I'm not blaming incomers. I just want my mother-in-law to be treated. Don't you? And the bottom line is, clearly the NHS, like everything else, is collapsing. They were going to send her to one hospital, but it was a 19-hour wait before you could even get into A&E to triage. So she went to another one, or they took her to another one in an ambulance. My point is this: Britain is broken. There's too many people in the country. There's too many people in the country who've not paid in. Why are we in this situation? It's not just Starmer. It's the mob before the Tories. They just don't seem to care about the ordinary people of this country. She's okay now, by the way, but, you know, we've got to be very careful. But I want to know, what does that cover up yesterday? What were the lies about? And why is Lammy still in a job? If you think he should be sacked, just type sacked in the comments. Yeah? So we get a sort of feeling of where you are. Because I want to dig into what all this says about accountability, about leadership. I say Starmer should be back in Britain, not hobnobbing with knobs. He does like to hobnob with a knob, as you know. Talking of hobnobs, of course, Lammy loves his Jaffa cakes. I want to know what you think about the state of this government. I want your thoughts. Get into the live chat. Tell me what you think. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Because on this show, I won't dodge the questions. I'll ask them and continue to ask them till we get answers. And when it comes to Starmer, I will continue to say the man is not fit to lead our great country. We need rid of him, and we need rid of him like yesterday. Are you with me or against me? So, you know, lots of people are already saying what they think about Lammy. So if you want him sacked, just write the word sacked. If you don't, write not sacked or something like that, right? I don't think there'll be many of them, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. But yesterday, both on the macro and the micro, I saw exactly what's wrong with Britain. On the macro, we've got a man who lied. He lied in the comments. He should be sacked. Sacked completely from the government. I don't think he's even fit to be an MP. He's a liar. And Robert Jenrick this morning, who I don't particularly like either, but on GMTV, he's called him a bullshitter, so they had to apologise. I can think of no better word to sum up Lammy. What about you? That was the macro. And the fact that Starmer's not here, he's even taken Ed Miliband. He's taken 400 hangers-on to Brazil in his private jet, and he's taken a load of mayors. Mayors, not Mares, although that maybe is a better way of summing them up. Why does the mayor of Yorkshire need to go to Brazil? I wonder why. Big fat freebies all round, trebles all round. Let's have a big posh meal and get a picture with Prince William. And on the same level, why is he there? Couldn't he have done it by Zoom? These people are filthy, stinking hypocrites. So that's the macro. The micro is what happened yesterday with this hospital. All day. I'm not blaming the doctors. I'm not blaming the hospital. I'm not even blaming the NHS. But clearly, it's broken. We've got too many people in the country and not enough of them paying in. Are you with me or against me? So it's macro and micro. Anything you want to say, just say it. And I notice at the moment the overwhelming majority is saying that what's his name? Lammy, the bullshitter, needs to be sacked. If you like what I'm talking about, please feel free to donate. Just click that little $sign and donate whatever you fancy. Or buy me a coffee or cold beer at www.buymeacoffee.com/Jon Gaunt. I will be doing another show at 6:30, probably, because I want to talk about this disgusting demonstration by the Islamophobic fascists in Birmingham tonight. They've already got the match effectively cancelled because the away supporters can't come. But that's not enough. They now are going to march on the Villa. And we're allowing it. Starmer, another reason why you should be here in the UK, not going out, what did I call it yesterday? Going loco down in Acapulco, even though that's not in Brazil. It's a joke, an absolute joke. Right, let's get to your views. And thank you for joining me at lunchtime. I know it's an unexpected one. If you want to make sure you never miss your show, you've got to subscribe, and it's free, to Jon Gaunt TV on YouTube. Do that. You'll never miss a show. Just go to Jon Gaunt TV on YouTube, and when the sign comes up saying, do you want to subscribe, say yes, and then you're in. Right, here we go then. Hi, John. I think Starmer is addicted to collecting air miles. I totally agree with you about it all. Thank you, Craig Mawson. Denise Deacon. I watched Prime Minister's Questions live, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. An arrogant, aggressive liar Lammy is. God help us if he ever becomes Prime Minister. Well, he's already the deputy, so who knows what's going to happen, Denise. He's not fit for the job. He's not fit for the job. Mind you, nor Starmer, is he? I would say as thick as a brick, but that would be insulting the brick, says Annette Locke. Thank you, Annette. John, when the going gets tough, Starmer gets going. I like that. David. David Hotspurs, and he's on Facebook. Thank you for it. We can't just trust anybody or anyone anymore, John, either. And I'm wearing my poppy. It's really important to me, says Laura. Yeah, I've got mine on my coat as well. But I don't understand it. He's going to be the first black man by his own admission. Although, why does that matter nowadays? Surely we live with equality. But anyway, you'd think that he'd make sure he's got the poppy on, that everything is tickety-boo. He bragged about buying a new suit. Now, I don't understand that because the size of him, he ain't going to be buying it off the peg, is he? But he made out he'd been out buying it yesterday morning. The guy is a compulsive liar. But then again, he's learnt at the knees of Starmer. Starmer, every time he opens his mouth, it's bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit. He's put out a video today, Starmer, on social media about saying, I'm fighting for Britain in Brazil, in a 5-star hotel, flying in my own private jet there, mixing with Bill Gates, mixing with Prince William. I'm fighting for the people. God, my gum, I'm a socialist. I'm a real socialist. You're an absolute spanner, Kia. Get lost. Dale Brignall, they are all useless. Get rid of a lot of them. This Co-op 30 could be done by a Zoom meeting. Of course it could. If they are concerned about saving the planet. But no, it's all about going on a jolly. Thanks to us, the taxpayers. Well said, Dale. It's a Copo 30, isn't it? Cop a lot of this, more like. Annette Locke, maybe we should be looking at the people running the security. No, Annette. No. The book stops with Lammy. Only last week when he let out another convicted child sex offender, the one we've just managed to deport, he said he's made the rules so tight it'll never happen again. We now find out more or less on the same day it was happening. The book stops with him. I'm not going to blame the individual prison officer who made the mistake. The system is broken. It's quite clear. It's like I can't moan at the doctor taking forever to see my relative yesterday, can I? I understand the pressure they're under. It's the system. And whoever's at the top of that system, you know what it's called? Taking effing responsibility. So that's West Streeting. In that case, on the micro. On the macro of the other one, it's our Deputy Prime Minister. Lammy, do you understand what I mean? If I was a black person, I wouldn't be shouting about him representing me. No, that was very much like bragging before everything collapses. You know, what do they call that? Not karma. But anyway, you know what I mean. We can't trust the House of Commons, and we can't trust the UK government, and we can't even trust the UK Parliament. So no from Laura. Chrissy Northwood on Facebook. So bloody sick of this incompetent so-called government. So am I. Over in America, look what happened to New York in a speech. He asked Donald J. Trump to bring it on. Yeah, he's having a right pop, isn't he? The new mayor of New York. The Donald doesn't back down. I say all the voters heard was free. Thank you very much, my friend. Patricia Rossborough, simple. She says sacked. Mark Taylor says sacked. Not getting much support here, Lammy. Ryan Boyce, sacked. Adrian Mortimer, 18s, YouTube, sacked. Thank you. Chrissy Northwood, Facebook, sacked. Steve West Ham, 1865 on YouTube, sacked. And then he adds ASP. AP. Thank you, my friend. Nigel Britton, sack. Labour have given or reform the green light to allow any inexperienced minister to have at least 9 lives before being removed. More evidence that Labour know they are finished for generations and generations. And I guess now they couldn't care less about being accountable. It's called a trash and burn policy, says Nigel Britton on Facebook. Agree with every word, Nigel. Well said. Craig says, John, I'm sorry to hear about your mother-in-law. Well, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. Hopefully. She'll get good, strong medical care. It's just there's too many people. The system is broken. Graham Booth says, sacked. Totally incompetent. Craig says, sacked. Denise Deacon says, I'm sorry to hear about your mother-in-law. John hopes she gets better soon. Annette Locke, the whole lot needs sacking. Correct. There should be a minister for common sense, says Lord Jim Dandy. Well, there was, wasn't there, in the previous government? Esther McVeigh, whatever her name is. She was it for the Conservatives. But they didn't have any common sense either because they're all the same. They're all self-serving pigs with their snouts in the trough. Jeffrey Smith just says, sacked. Dale C. McKay Godwin just says, clean the house. Yeah, it's a bit like drain the swamp, isn't it? John, I hope your mother feels better soon. And John, I hope you get well soon as well. That's from Laura. Thank you, Laura. I've only got flu or COVID or something. It's gone. Well, it's gone, I think, but I've still got this slight cough. Nothing to worry about too much. What did you make of him turning up without a poppy on as well? And they had to scramble. I mean, in a way, if you forget your poppy, you got to front it out. You don't then grab one from a bloke sitting 2 rows back who has got one, which is what he did. Again, that sums up Lammy. What do you think? And did you see the young woman they put out today? I think her name is, I wrote it down here, Alex Davis Jones. She was Welsh. She had to go and do all the TV interviews and radio interviews for Lammy today. Because you know what Lammy was doing today? After lying in the House of Commons, after bullshitting all of us, right? He sends out a junior to defend his position. And the excuse they've come up with, well, he wasn't fully briefed and it wouldn't have been right for him to say, yes, we've let another one out. The Metropolitan Police have said that's bullshit as well. But Lammy is going to get away with this by the look of it because Starmer's too busy in Brazil. Likewise, the Chancellor, lying, crooked, corrupt, or Rachel Reeves, thieves, she's getting away with it. Have you noticed how that story's disappeared? The woman who altered her CV and then messed with the having the correct license. I reckon she did it because she didn't want to pay the money. Surely her offence is as bad as Angela Rayner's, who fiddled the stamp duty. They're all corrupt. Starmer, at some point, you are going to have to do a Father Christmas and give one of them the sack. Or maybe make it easier, sack yourself, resign, you miserable sack of you-know-what. Come on, we haven't had any donations yet. I'm working my socks off here. If you like what I'm doing, click the $ sign and just send a few quid. or lots of quids, whatever you want to do. Or go to www. I've got an itch on my back. www.buymeacoffee.com/Jon Gaunt. Ryan, boys, John, please don't insult clowns. They're funny and at least have a purpose. Lammy is about as much use as the chocolate fireguard. Correct. Jackie Ward says, I keep thinking this government can't get any worse. And then I'm proved wrong time and time and time again. Sack the lot of them. Jackie, I can't argue with you. We've got 40 likes. That's absolutely brilliant for lunchtime. I do apologise. Like I say, I'm hoping to do a show tonight, unless I go into a relapse. So I want your views tonight as well. We're going to talk about this massive demonstration. They're trying to mobilise 250,000 Muslims to walk on Villa Park. I trust that Muslims will show more sense, because the guys who are winding it up, they're dangerous, in my opinion. Very, very dangerous. David Marks says, general election now, they're all useless. David, I'm glad you're here. Can I just say to you, can you stop sending me voice messages? I can't help. So just stop sending them, because it's getting on my nerves. I can't help you. Go to a local radio station. They'll help. That's what they can do. I can't. Starmer says he wants to run as PM. You mean he wants to do another 10 years in total? Yes, he does. Put Lammy back on Mastermind with a new set of questions about this. You'll get them all wrong again, says Tony Hodgkinson. 4586. I like that one very much. Thank you. David KT, he's saying we're living in the twilight zone. Something has gone wrong with the Matrix. Well, it's either gone wrong or this is all by design. Because there comes a point where you think, this can't all be cock up. Is it conspiracy? How could they possibly let out? I mean, no, let's go through this logically. The first one they let out accidentally. He was the most notorious criminal in Britain, right? The Ethiopian asylum claimant, illegal immigrant, and he's the one who kicked off all the riots at the Bell Hotel in Epping, right? The one that our own government backed the rights of illegal flip-flop warriors rather than the local community. But then he effectively ignited the whole country. So all the trouble we've had since is down to him. So when they put him in prison for, let's remember what he did, sexually assaulted a 14-year-old girl, you would have thought that Lammy or even Starmer would have got the governor in and said, whatever you do, don't fuck this up, right? Don't. Keep him under lock and key until we deport him. What do? They released him. What happened then? The clown, Lammy, then says, it'll never happen again. I've tightened it all up totally. It's so tight now, no one will ever get out again. Then yesterday, he lies and bullshits in the Commons because he knows they've let out another one. This one's an Algerian sex offender who's meant to be getting deported as well. But the prison, if we believe the story, he got out a week ago. They didn't tell the police till Tuesday this week. And therefore, that's when Lammy found out. Lammy then goes into the Commons yesterday, Wednesday, when he's asked the same question 5 times. He refuses to answer. So he doesn't physically lie, because he knows that's the end if he actually lies. But he avoids the question. But I would say that's the same as lying, wouldn't you? I would say that's dishonest. I would say that's a disgrace. I would say the fat tub of lard isn't fit to hold high office. Are you with me or against me? I'm going to finish in a few moments, so get your comments in now if you want to say anything else on this subject. How long can we go on like this? It gets worse and worse by the day, says Annette. I agree, Annette. I don't know. What I do know is that your supreme leader thought it was more important to go to Brazil. And do you know why he went? He wasn't going to go. He's only gone because of the gap-toothed twat, the leader of the Green Party, because he's building support. So now he's worried not only about Nigel Farage or indeed anybody else. He's not worried about the Conservatives anymore. He's now worried about the Green Party. That's why he's gone to copper 30, to cop a load of freebies, no doubt. And that's why he's taken 400 people with him. It's your money. So he goes. Don't forget what he's left behind. He's still not satisfactorily, in my opinion, sorted out the Mandelson affair. The fact that Mandelson was best mates with top paedophile in the world. No, not done that. Not sorted that out at all. And there's a whole list of things that Starmer needs to be in this country for, leading from the front. But he can't lead from the front. He seems to always lead from the rear. He always seems to want the back door approach. What's he about? It's surely one of the things, if you want to be the leader, the supreme leader, is that you actually like leadership. But he doesn't. So he's there, and did you see him in the dinner suit with Prince, whatever his name is, William, right? And William, if he cared for our country, I'm sorry, do it on Zoom, big boy. Oh, and of course, some people are making it, oh, yeah, but William did fly on a commercial flight. Yeah, but he wouldn't have been in cattle class, would he? It's immaterial. I'm not saying green issues aren't important. Of course they are. But are they number one priority for you at the moment? Because they're certainly not for me. And I don't think the vast majority of people, personally, maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe we go to bed every night shivering because we can't put the heating on, and we're worried about, I don't know, the planet. We go to bed hugging our teddy bears to keep warm because we know that little Greta's right. And we're all going to die, either of global warming or a new ice age. They don't seem to make their minds up, do they? It's just a joke. Right, I am going to finish any minute now. Let's take some more comments. Jeffrey Grafton says, hypocrites, Labour. The state of this government, says Kathy Lovejoy on YouTube. Annette says, what did you say? I've lost you there. Annette said, he's not my supreme leader. I hate him with a passion. Well, when I say that, Annette, I am being sarcastic. John, do you think fireworks will be banned? I think on the great scale of things, I don't give it a shit, if I'm honest. But yeah, they'll probably try that. Although, to be fair, I've seen a lot of drone displays, and they're just as good, aren't they? And also, when did it become de rigueur? I was out last night and just nipped out to get a bite to eat once Lisa got back. And when did it become de rigueur to have commercial fireworks in your back garden? When I was a kid, and when my kids were kids, it was a few sparklers, a Catherine wheel on the shed, which never turned, a few rockets in milk bottles, and that was about it. And that was enough, wasn't it? That was enough. Hot dog and a jacket potato. Yeah. Now, people in their back gardens have got more fireworks than the idiot, what's his name? He's in Brazil as well, isn't he? Khan, spends on New Year's Eve. I heard one last night go off, and it must have been one of these big box things. Boom, boom. I thought we were being invaded. What's the point of that? And, of course, now we have fireworks almost all year round, don't we? We have them for Diwali, we have them for bloody birthdays, and we have them for Guy Fawkes. I even heard them going off on Halloween. So if they did get banned, I wouldn't be too worried about it, Lord Jim Dandy, the more I think about it. Thanks for bringing it up. Will they be banned? Yeah, they bloody should be. It's just ludicrous. Go to a proper display if you want to see them. In Coventry, they used to have one at Coombe Abbey, which is a big country park on the outskirts of Coventry. That was a great night out. Proper big display. You still took the kids. They still had sparklers and stuff. But also, have we not raised a whole generation of kids who aren't used to disappointment? Wasn't it great when you went out in the back garden? It was pouring. I mean, like last night wasn't Guy Fawkes night. It was really warm. Proper Guy Fawkes night. You go outside, it's freezing, it's raining like mad, and you try and light the fireworks, and none of them go off. And then you remember, never return to a lit firework. Well, you think, hang on a minute, I've just spent a fucking fortune. Yeah, I'm going to return and try it again. Don't do that, by the way. That's a warning. But isn't part of bonfire night the fact that the fireworks don't go off, and your mum and dad end up having a row? Am I too cynical? I don't know. You might disagree with me, but I don't know. Honestly, I could not believe the sounds I was hearing last night. And if you had a dog or something, it must scare them witless. There's no need for these big Chinese fireworks for domestic premises. Do you agree? I'll take a couple of comments, but I'm stopping in a minute because I've had enough. Mass civil unrest is about to erupt in my hometown of Birmingham, says Henry Ives. I wouldn't bet against it, Henry. Meanwhile, Keir Starmer sunning himself at completely pointless COP30. And we have Calamity Lammy in charge. Exactly, my friend. I'm worried sick about what's going to happen in Birmingham tonight. Simon G5429. You know what it's about? It's about intimidation. They want to control the agenda. These radicals. I'm not saying all Muslims. The green agenda is about control, not about the environment. The planet needs carbon. Well, I haven't got time to go into that, but thank you for your comments. Behaviour. David Lammy, behaviour. Maddie Walton. Behaviour. David Lammy, not care, needs sack. Try and write that in English next time, Maddie. It would help me. Check out Birmingham last night. Yeah, I saw what happened in Birmingham last night. Loads of youths chucking fireworks at the police. I think it could well kick off tonight. I don't want it to. Of course I don't. Anne Dean. No, they are not top priority, but he thinks they are to the detriment of the British people. She's talking about green issues, I think. Thank you, Anne. Annette, here last night was hell with them. It was terrible, talking about the fireworks. Feral youths attacking police with fireworks last night in Brum. Correct, Lord Jim Dandy 5850. And then Annette says, Birmingham, I fear, will be held tonight. Well, let's hope and pray it isn't. But this is what happens. If you appease the crocodile, it just means the crocodile won't eat you first. That's all it means. You're still going to get eaten. There is no way Maccabi Tel Aviv fans should have been banned. I said it at the time. And they made out that copper, politically correct copper, that idiot who's in charge of Birmingham. He said it was to protect local people. No, it wasn't. He knew there was going to be massive intimidation from the local population, which is majority Muslim. And he knew the targets would be the Israeli fans, the Jewish fans. And effectively, they keep going on about apartheid Israel. These radical Islamists are trying to create in our country apartheid. So now a Jewish person can't go to a football game. How have we allowed this to happen? And to be fair to Starmer, he came out against the decision by the police. Although I note he didn't actually stop it. And of course, there's another reason why he flew away to Brazil. The man is a disgrace. Pippo Diego says, it looks like Rachel Reeves is going to do 3 pence a mile on electric cars. More tax incoming. You're right. That's something I might talk about later. It's almost as if Labour's got a death wish, isn't it? But I don't know. Anyway, Craig, to finish off, says, John, they seem to be getting louder every year. What? Labour's excuses? Oh, you mean the fireworks? Yes, they are. Right, that's me done then. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be back at 6:30. I think we'll be talking about this protest in Birmingham. If you want to contact me before then, feel free. Drop me a message on my YouTube channel. That's probably the best way to get straight to me. And if you've not joined Jon Gaunt TV yet, not subscribed to it, do it today. It's completely free, and it really helps me, and it also helps you to know when I'm doing extra shows. If you'd like to donate some money, please help me out. Just press the little button, the $sign, and donate whatever you fancy, or send me some coffee or beer at www.buymeacoffee.com/Jon Gaunt. 50 likes, that's pretty good. Jackie Ward sent me 3 red hearts. That means I can stop. Thank you. See you later, John. Says the Chipman2473. Thanks for these great shows. Well, thank you for your contribution if you donated. And if not, why not? And also, Simon G5429, who has donated, says, see you then. Yes, you shall. 6:30, unless my voice gives up. Until then, if you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. Hey, hey, hey. Don't forget to tell them you love them. And please keep sharing the show. See you later. All the best.